consumerism in the average family in the UK is stark. Every week, the average family spends £585.60 a week on average household matters. For example, recreation and culture, transport, housing, power, fuel, and mortgages, followed by household goods, services, and transport. While this does give us a good insight into what UK families feel is most important to them, it does mean that in 19 weeks and 4 days, the average family will spend £11,006.70. This is how the UK uses all of its natural resources for that year. How on earth is this possible? That the average family feels the need to go through £11,000 in 19 weeks? Am I just looking at this wrong, or are people possibly horrifically wasteful with their money and time? So how much do we really need to spend? How much do we really need transport or new clothes? I have successfully made myself 4 or 5 garments, including a skirt, corset, dress, and crinoline, all made from things at home or in the UK. None of my fabrics or steel or wire have had to be flown in from places like China or the States. What about transport? Yes, of course, people can't walk 19 miles to work, but what about using a train or a bus or a bike? I have a friend who uses their roller skates to get around Cambridge. If that's possible, who really needs a car? Surely we can all make small little changes to how we go about our lives. Less and less do I find myself needing to go to Primark since I have endeavoured in my sewing, and of shopping from charity shops. Less and less have I felt the need to have a car when I'm older because I realize I don't need to. There are always alternatives. All these changes and realizations have caused me to increase my own overshoot day, which used to be in late August, but is now the 19th of October. And since lockdowns and quarantines have been imposed and we're not spending as much, Earth Overshoot Day this year was for the 22nd of August, which isn't great, but it's definitely better than what it could have been. I hope I have all made you realize that changes don't have to be the most life-changing and insane to make a difference, as well as giving you all some food for thought. Thank you for listening.
Next, I would like to invite our special guest, Paula Trainer Bucknell, who is an active member of the King's College School Eco Society and one of the top winners of the recent Cambridge Schools Eco Challenge to design and build a terrific green waste composter.
Hi, so I'm Ola. And when I heard about the Eco Challenge to build a green waste composter, I initially thought, what can I do that will make a difference, as I did not think I had any materials that I could use. However, after a little while thinking about the challenge and checking around the house and garden, I decided to use some old wood planks that could be cut into smaller pieces. Now that I had the material sorted, the next challenge was where I would locate the composter and how I would construct it. I found a nice spot at the top of our garden which had a fence against which I could locate the composter. My dad cut the wood into smaller pieces, about 2 foot long, and armed with a hammer and nails, I set to the task. The back of the fence provided a structure to which the composter could be anchored. I built the sides by nailing each of the 2 feet long planks to the front of the fence. It took some time to get the sides nailed to the fence, as I had to angle the nails to ensure that they went through both the planks of wood and the fence. However, once the technique was mastered, progress was quick. The left side was 3 planks of wood deep and the same for the right. For the front of the composter, I wanted to ensure that there would be a way that I could easily remove the compost. And consequently, I only used 2 feet long planks of wood on the front, leaving the bottom open. It's important to note too that the composter was located on normal ground where grass had been growing prior to the construction of the composter. The next stage involved filling the composter with green waste. Before long, I had the composter filled with green household waste, e.g. vegetable peelings, fruit, eggshells, tea bags, and coffee grounds. We also had lots of grass cuttings, weeds, and decomposing leaves that I added to the composter. On reflection, if I ask myself what I might do to improve the composter, the following points come to mind. I did not realize how much green waste a house can use, so therefore, if I was doing this exercise again, I would build a larger composter. The birds seem to really love the eggshells and have been picking them out of the waste. I have therefore learned that I should try and bury these in the composter. It's important to turn the waste within the composter on a regular basis to ensure the air gets at all the waste, and I need to put a temporary door on the end of the composter to prevent the waste from falling out or prevent rabbits and other animals pulling at the waste.
Thank you, Orla.
I would now like to invite our global expert, Dr. Markus Gehring.
Okay, thank you very much. I was going to say, much of what I was going to say has already been said by these excellent presentations. Thank you very much for them. I've put together a couple of slides, not to intimidate, but rather to just highlight some of the work in that field. So if I share this slide, I hope you can see it. Is it visible to you? Yes, good. So climate change, consumerism, waste, in my view, triggers a very quick response. The need to transition as fast as possible to a green economy, to the green economy. What is the green economy? The global economy has to make a shift away from current unsustainable patterns of economic growth based on cheap and abundant fossil fuels to a low carbon, resource efficient and sustainable form of economic growth. And there are various ways how to do this. This was first introduced in 2008 and then endorsed by the international community in 2012. So what are the areas where we need fundamental changes? We need to change our agricultural system, forest management, manufacturing, building and construction, tourism, fisheries, water management, energies, waste management, transportation, and cities. Right? In all these areas, we can make changes, big and small, that really set us on a trajectory to a much greener economy. But why is there such a key problem with waste? Well, the answer is in the sheer volume. Look at this graph. It's already 4 years old, from 2016, and it shows you that sort of average citizens in the European Union, in the United Kingdom, produce no less than 5,000 kilograms of waste. That's the size of 2 average passenger cars that we produce in waste. That is far too much. And there are simple answers to that waste problem. We should quickly transition to a circular economy where we put in raw materials, we design in a way, we manufacture, we distribute, we consume and collect, that these products are easy to recycle, easy to reuse, and don't create a lot of waste in the first place. Right? 10 years ago, a mobile phone could not be recycled. Because of waste legislation, because of a switch to a circular economy, we can recycle mobile phones that are, we can recycle modern mobile phones. There are new technologies that companies have developed in order to actually enable this circular economy. And just a quick slide why the law matters here. For example, in 2018, the European Union, and therefore 27 member states of the European Union, have agreed a common target. Recycling 65% of municipal waste, 75% of packaging waste, a maximum of 10% that goes to landfill, a ban on waste that is not collected separately, and of course much greener products that don't produce a lot of waste in the first place. There's also a new plastic directive on the impact of certain plastic products on the environment, and it has a whole host of measures. For example, consumption reduction, market restrictions, design requirement, and most importantly, extended producer responsibility. So the person who places the plastic on the market has to take it back in all circumstances. And we all need to be much more aware of the damage that especially plastics can cause to the natural environment. That is all I wanted to say. There's lots more to say on consumerism, climate change, waste, and the green economy. If you're interested, here's a link, and I'll share the slide as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that wonderful speech. We're coming to a close with our speakers, but we have one very special speaker, Professor Damilola S. Olawi. I'd like to invite you.
Thank you very much for the kind and wonderful introduction, even though you struggled to pronounce Damilola, even though we spent so much time in Cambridge together the last time. Good. And greetings from Titi and Tony. They are here, they are watching as well. We are joining from Qatar, which is in the Middle East, and for us it's 6:30 p.m. in the evening, and it's really wonderful to listen to some of the very kind remarks and very insightful, I would say, about environmental protection, and I'm very, very delighted to see that kids and the future generation are thinking deeply about these issues. I just wanted to reflect briefly on this idea of what I call moving from energy consumers to energy citizens. And that's a discussion I've been having with colleagues here in Qatar, and I thought I would share with you all, my friends, as well. All our lives, we've been energy consumers. We turn on the light, it works. We use our car, we drive. Daddy and mommy drives, we sit in it, it works. We're consuming energy. And we've been used to that. But the world is realizing that we now need a new generation of what I call energy citizens. That is, those that will advocate for the earth, those that will take active part and even take the lead in the development of solutions, facilities, ideas that will lead to the preservation of the earth, and that would also lead to sustainable use of energy. So there is a shift now from focus on being an energy consumer who just uses electricity, uses oil and gas and all the other energy sources, to us becoming energy citizens. And you know that when you are described as a citizen of any country, you have a right and you have a responsibility as well. So if you're an energy citizen, you have rights. Your rights are what I've described earlier on: the right to use energy, the right to use electricity. But just as in the UK, if you're a citizen, you also have responsibility. You have to pay tax,